Speaker of Parliament Michael Palmer has resigned from the ruling People's Action Party and as MP for Punggol East single-member constituency. He said he's decided to take full responsibility for an improper relationship with a staff member of the People's Association. The woman, Laura Ong, was constituency director of Pasir Ris West constituency office, has also resigned. The PA says she quit yesterday, citing family commitments.
Looking grim as he faced the media, Mr. Michael Palmer proceeded to read a brief statement.
I have resigned to take full responsibility for a grave mistake that I have committed. I had a relationship with a member of the People's Association staff working in Pasir Ris-Punggol GRC. While the individual did not work with me directly, Punggol East used to be part of the GRC and continues to work with it. My conduct was improper and it was a serious error of judgment. I have resigned in order to avoid further embarrassment to the PAP and to Parliament.
He added he was sorry for letting residents down. Mr. Teo said the party first came to know about the matter on Saturday. That's when Mr. Palmer informed Mr. Teo about his decision to resign. Both men informed Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong on the same day. Mr. Lee met Mr. Palmer on Sunday and directed that the matter should be dealt with decisively and in an open way. The party has made arrangements to ensure that Punggol East residents would continue to be taken care of and that the transition is carried out in a proper legal way. Minister of State and Mayor Teo Salak will oversee the Punggol East constituency. MP for Pasir Ris-Punggol GRC Zainal Sapari will be appointed as the new chairman of the Pasir Ris-Punggol Town Council. Deputy Speaker Charles Chong, who's acting speaker, will continue in his role. The Prime Minister will nominate a new speaker for Parliament's consideration when it meets again.
On behalf of the party and of myself, I would like to say to the residents of Punggol East, I'm very sorry that we have let the residents of Punggol East down. I assure you that we will put things right and that we will continue to look after you.
On the possibility of a by-election now that the Punggol East seat is vacated, Mr. Teo said it will be left to the Prime Minister to decide. In a letter accepting Mr. Palmer's resignation, the Prime Minister said Mr. Palmer has worked diligently as MP since he entered politics in 2006. But Mr. Lee added it's necessary that all PAP MPs and advisors to grassroots organizations uphold the highest standards of personal conduct, especially in dealings with constituents, grassroots activists and staff, and that the party be seen to hold its MPs and advisors to these standards. At 44 years of age, Mr. Palmer was one of the new generation of MPs given greater responsibility by the Prime Minister. He took on the role of Speaker of Parliament in 2011 and helmed the single-member constituency of Punggol East at the last general election, garnering about 55% of valid votes.
Now, Mr. Palmer is also married with one child. Well, MPs from the neighbouring Pasir Ris-Punggol GRC say they are surprised and shocked by his sudden resignation, but they assured Punggol East residents that their needs will be looked after.
With Mr. Michael Palmer's resignation, Mayor of North East District and Minister of State Teo Salak will oversee the single-seat constituency. His priority to ensure that residents' needs are met.
I'll do my best to make sure that the transition period will be smooth and that we'll continue to serve residents of Punggol East to the best of our ability.
Fellow Pasir Ris-Punggol MP Zainal Sapari was told around noon on Wednesday that he will take over as chairman of the Pasir Ris-Punggol Town Council.
We will ensure that there would be little or no impact on the management and operations of Town Council. Pasir Ris-Punggol Town Council has always operated as a team, and we always keep each other in the loop over Town Council matters. As such, we are able to handle any of such unforeseen circumstances.
He said Mr. Palmer is a likable person and is professional and impartial in discharging his duties as Town Council Chairman. Fellow MP Gan Tiam Po described Mr. Palmer as a nice colleague and a well-liked MP. He said Singaporeans expect all MPs to hold high standards of conduct and that he respects Mr. Palmer's decision.
Political analysts say the PAP acted fast in handling the Michael Palmer affair, but they say any further impact on the party's image will largely depend on whether a by-election is called.
The People's Action Party was informed on Saturday, and by Sunday, the decision was made. Political analysts say the PAP moved quickly and efficiently on Mr. Michael Palmer's resignation.
Contrasted especially to the way the Workers' Party handled the Yaw Shin Leong case. That dragged on for weeks before Yaw Shin Leong resigned. I think in this case, you can see the difference in party discipline. Here's a party which is pretty ruthless. It finds out that there might be rumors or there might be a tip-off, and it tells the member, you've got to come clean. Of course, there's a lot more at stake because Palmer, as Speaker, has almost ministerial status.
Asked if the image of the party will be tarnished because of the matter, Deputy Prime Minister Teo Chee Hean said the PAP does its best to choose its people carefully.
No selection system will be foolproof, and sometimes problems will emerge even many years after an appointment or a selection. But I think the important thing to do is, when such an event, such an episode does occur and arise, we have to act properly. And that's the most important thing, to respond in the right manner, openly and decisively.
Some analysts Channel News Asia spoke with say the damage to the PAP may not be that significant in the long run, as the next general election is still a few years away. But the party's credibility will depend on whether it calls a by-election, even with a caretaker MP in place.
Because the precedents have been set in Hougang, opposition, you can imagine, will demand a by-election. The populace, the electorate, probably would like to see the same thing. So I think the pressure will be on the Prime Minister and the PAP to call for one.
Under Singapore law, whether and when a by-election is called is at the Prime Minister's discretion.